Okay, what's going on, Nervos Nation? This is number two. This is J Mitch at CK Metrics on Twitter. I have a lot to go over today, and so I'm going to try to speed through this as efficiently as I can. I got a little notepad here with my list of everything I'm going to cover. So yeah, I want to start by just saying thank you. You guys have been super kind. The comments have been fantastic, super encouraging. It's helped out a lot. So I really appreciate that. I can't thank you enough. Next up, yeah, obviously, quick disclaimer, and this is going to tie in with some shout outs here in a moment. But just, I really want to remind everyone that what I'm doing here is something that I enjoy. I enjoy looking through the metrics for CKB and seeing how they relate to price action. I enjoy it, but this isn't tried and tested. This is we're learning this as we go. So I want you to take this as me just sharing my journey through this process. Don't take it as financial advice because I really wouldn't want to see anybody get hurt or lose anything. So just take it for that. All right, this is something I really enjoy doing. Uh, and I really wanted to touch on that due to a shout out here from Common Knowledge, our friend in Deutschland, at, let's see where he's at here, at knowledge underscore MON. He commented on one of my posts when I was going mad about transaction count, and he just focused on was advising me to be careful about not pushing and assuming price on just one metric, right? For because if everybody starts using that, basically he was talking about a single point of failure. To be careful about not pointing out a single source of truth, which is so. I'm so glad he said this. First off, I don't use just that one. But what he opened my eyes to is I had put so many tweets out as far as transaction count goes, and I can't expect everyone to have read every single one. So uh, I need to be more careful with the types of tweets that I put out and make sure that I'm not misguiding anybody, right? Because even though I know I'm looking at more than just one metric and trying to pull them all together, somebody who might only catch a tweet of mine here or there might not get the same picture. And this is what I love. I wish everybody was like this. I wish everyone would just say, "Hey, man, this is the way I'm seeing it," and it opens up my eyes. So I love it. Nervos community just killing it. It means a lot. Um, so yeah, that's that shout out there. I'm gonna go into this here in a second. Shout out to Jordan Mack. He gave me some really nice comments. It means a lot for you guys. If you're watching this, you probably know exactly who he is. But if not, he's senior software engineer at Nervos. Go follow him at Jordan underscore Mac. And I think if I can get the quote right on my last video, when I was talking about the cell count drop, I said when I first saw the first one, I didn't understand what it meant, and there are still aspects today that I don't understand. If I remember right, that's exactly the way that I said it. Well, he gave a comment here, which I just loved, and we're gonna dive into that a little bit as far as what his best guess is going on when these live cells drop. Okay, we're gonna get into that shortly. And then the last thing, this is I told you I've got a lot to go through, but this is important to me. I want to get this out to you guys. Last thing, why am I doing this and what's in it for me? I've figured, as you can see, I don't do anything flashy. You can see my thumbnails. It's just I like the data. I love the community. I love the project, and that's it. I enjoy putting this data together, and the community has shown interest in it, and I just want to throw it out to you. That's genuinely the reason why I'm doing this. Is not really much past it. So don't actually expect much flash from me in the future. As you can see when I hit start recording, I don't edit anything. It's just about the data and the information. That being said, we're done with the beginning. So let's go into network difficulty. That's gonna be the first one that we're gonna touch on here. And I'm fired up. I tweeted about this. We got the close. Where am I at So we were focusing on this on the first video. Difficulty 858.01 petahash. We had talked about the bullish pattern of how price action follows when we break through resistance and set new supports right around here on June 24th. Excuse me, actually, I think it was about right there, June 27th and February 5th, right? We look around those times, we see how price action follows. February 5th, price action follows. So we got the close, guys. As you can see, what was it, right? 858, barely, but we did it. 863. And I also want to point at this too. If we take a look here at this is one of my favorite charts right here. It gives us a lot of information just over the last several epochs, right? Let's look at that. All right, so 1 petahash, 948 petahash, 1.06 petahash, 865, right? We're sitting pretty high, 860, 929, consistent. So we're setting. I'm very optimistic. Let's just say that. Now this pattern's twice. So we've only had this happen twice. So third time's a charm, right? Let's see where it goes. But I'm super fired up that we got that close. Next one I want to go into is Hashrate. I touched on this a little bit on the first video, but going back and re-listening to it, I kind of just blew past it. I didn't give you guys some real details. Oh yeah, I gotta talk about this here in a second. I can't count mistake. But I talked about a 21 to a 28 day average delay that I had averaged out, and I didn't really focus on any specifics. So I wrote down these dates, and just so you guys know I'm not blowing any smoke, I'm going to walk through all of these. But I made this huge mistake. The first video I kept saying, wow, where was it? Let's bring up Hashrate here. Okay, I was like, all right, right here, September 4th, 28 days later, October 4th. First grade math, that's wrong. It's October 2nd. And I said it 6-7 times. And I know the reason why I said it. Basically, I had at one point prior to recording the video thought that it was safer to assume price action would start to turn on a Monday in case it was news. So I wanted to use October 4th versus a Saturday, October 7th, which was just cheating. I should have just stuck to the averages that I figured out, because I didn't even touch on this on the first video. But if you think about it, I kept focusing on 28 days and was doing my math wrong, but 28 days would be October 2nd, right? Well, 21 days, let me see if I can back up here. I don't even want to try because I'm probably going to get it wrong. Where am I at here? October 2nd. Let's go to 3 months. There we go. October 2nd, right? That's going to put us right about there. Well, let's back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? I mean, if 21 to 28 days, right in that middle, about 23, 24 days, price started to reverse. So that's interesting, but that's just one case. So the question is, can we prove this all the way back, this average of 21 to 28 day delay? And funny enough, I can. It's wild. So I brought up 2miners again, .com, because they give us the full hash rate chart here, and on my notes I've got the dates. May 15th is the iffiest one, but we're going to start with it just because there wasn't as much movement, right? But right about there, May 15th, we hit a peak and we take a little dip, right? Well, May 15th isn't much, but May 15th, 00398, and we get right up to there over 10 days. It was something, and then we correct down a little bit, but it's there. Excuse me, we're talking about a delay too, so ignore what I just said. May 15th, 31 days in May, so that's 16 days. So by June 5th, we should at least see something, right? June 5th, not really. You can call that a little bit of a price reversal, but it wasn't much. That one doesn't bug me because there wasn't a lot going on here. Everything starts getting juicier and juicier as we move forward. So, May 31st. Here we go. Let's start there. May 31st. This is another high right at a peak right there. Price action. Here we go. We're going to go through these one by one. May 31st. So that would be June 20th, June 21st. And right there, we're looking at 004354. Price action starts to move up, right? There's that. 21 to 28 day average delay. July 8th. Right there. So that's our peak right there, July 8th. 21 days from there, July 29th. You can tell I'm terrified to do math right now because I don't want to screw up again. July 29th, look at that. An extra little boost, right? If you wanted to argue the 28 day, July 29th, you might hear my dogs and my family in the background, by the way. July 29th, we could jump forward a few days and boom, we get this extra burst. So it's holding up still. December 18th. Here we go. Bear with me here. December 18th. Wait, was this new high? Did I miss this one? 15. I might have missed October 24th. 1509. Did I ever hit 15 before? Hold on. I didn't add this one in. October 15th. Alright, so 16 days is going to take us to November. Did I put it in there? I didn't. October 15th. November. What is it? Come on, do my math. November 5th. Holy crap, look at that. Price reverses. I didn't even add that one in. Foolproof, I'm telling you. Alright, here we go. Next one I have December 18th. Excuse me. December 18th. Right there, that was the peak there. Again, we're just going to keep going down this list. December 18th. There we go. 31 days in December. It's 13. So what is that going to put us at? 8. January 8th. Right there. Price reversal to the upside. This is crazy. Oh man. Alright, you guys know what happened here. I even skipped a couple in February. This is probably just getting boring, and I don't want to wear you guys out. So, you can go through this video and take a look at these other dates right here that I got. April 8th. Oh, no, I gotta touch on this one, guys. April 8th. This one was nuts. So, check this out. April 8th, right? So, we started taking our downturn from the bull run before Bitcoin and the rest of the market did. And we'll talk a little bit more of that on cell count. Man, I gotta get moving because this video is gonna be long. April 8th. Let's jump forward here. So to April 30th, that's gonna be 22 days, right? Yeah. April 8th. So April 30th. Look at this. Right here. This is when we get this. That might have been BitThumb listing as well. But I'm telling you, April 3rd. Look at this. Even in the bear market, another peak in hash rate with a 21 to 28 day average delay predicted a boost. And May 11. These are just too good. I have to go through them. May 11th. Oh yeah. Okay, it's both of these. Believe it or not. So 5624, 5679. So they were both. They were both brand new highs. Alright, so I have those both on there, right? That was June 15th. Yeah. May 11th, June 15th. If you're bored, I don't blame you. May 11th. May 11th. There we go, right there. 31 days. Come on, Jeremy, do the math. Well, now you guys know my first name. 511. That's gonna put us at June 1st. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that little boost. Boom, right there. That's wild. And then the last one, June 15th, lines us up right close to the bottom here, which is just wild. So there you go. I wanted to give you guys the specifics and And there they are. Live sell count and transaction count. I'm going to touch on this broadly because this is a beast and there's a lot to it. So we're going to touch on more of a macro look of the chart versus what I was tweeting out, which was trying to see how well I could predict where price action was going to go based off of transactions per second, transactions in the last 24 hours, kind of watching the movement there. It's really interesting. I'm studying it like mad still, but I'm going to hold off from talking about that because it's a lot of trial and error. But there is something interesting here for as far as a macro look, and then we're going to jump back into sell count as well. So let's pull these up. I don't even want to know how long this is. Where are we at? Transaction count. Come on, focus. Alright, here we go. And sell count, where are you at? Perfect. Jordan Mack. I love this. He says, any guesses on what sell count drop could signify? My best guess would be that a large miner is consolidating their earnings. And I'm really glad that he said this because he nudged me to dive into this a little deeper. The day before I made my first video, I was looking at this mining chart. I was like, who is this beast right here and how much they're mining? It's probably Jordan. Watch. Jordan is the mastermind. He's the one mining all of this. I have no evidence of that. I'm just talking. But look at this. The address, 52,192 live cells. So this account's a beast. This miner's a beast, and they've got a lot there. So let's look into that, right? We're going to look at transaction count alongside of it too, to see what movement, what type of velocity is happening on the network while these sell count drops occur when they occur. The only problem is they only give me back to the beginning of the year here. So that's all that we have here with transaction count. So let's start right here. January 24th, right? Sell count drop over 30,000 in one day. And where are we at here? There we go. And you can see movement. Everything started to change right here as well. I don't know if that was maybe Binance getting prepped and moving coins around. But as soon as that listing, actually no, probably not, because this is the 24th right here. On that day, we get movement on the network. CKB starts moving around, and it makes sense. The miner, if you guys remember that Binance listing day, it listed. We took a shoot of like, I don't know, 70%, and then within 24 hours, we were below the price of the moment it was announced that it was listed. And I think what Jordan pointed out is brilliant, and I agree with him, and it makes a lot of sense. Why is this happening? Well, if this miner's got 52,000 live cells right now, right, and he's consolidating his earnings, he's wanting to take some earnings, because, I mean, if you guys go in and you look at how much this guy's mining, whoever he or she is, look at this. Every 20 seconds, 1,400. I mean, it's crazy. You got to take some profits at that point, right? Which is a good thing, in my opinion, for the network versus whoever they are hoarding them, right? They're selling them. They're giving us, the community, a chance to continue to buy in at better prices, and they're distributing the CK bytes around globally. They're not just hoarding them. And the token economics of CKB are brilliant, right? It's state storage, so we want developers to have these CK bytes. We want them to build on the network. It's a store of assets. That's where the value capture comes from. So that's what we want. So even though it might be amazing if we go to the moon today, there's aspects of that could hurt the network, right? Nervos is a completely different beast. It's a whole new animal, and it needs to be treated as so. And whoever this big miner is, I think they're on our side. And by them taking profits, spread out in a conservative manner, and distributing those CK bytes out, in my opinion, is great for us. All right, the next one that happened here, August 6th. Let's jump over to transaction counts, see what happens in August 6th. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, August 6th. Where am I getting wrong here? Well, I remembered this differently. Hold on, bear with me 1 second here. Interesting. Never mind. I was looking at something different. There's not much that correlates here. There was a big movement that was made here. I'm going to talk about price action and transaction count here in a second. It did happen. It did happen. This jump in transaction count just a couple weeks before that next sell count drop happened, and the most recent one here. Sorry for that hiccup there, guys. September 29th. Gosh. September 20th. Can you guys tell I'm getting tired? I've had a long week. September 29th. Right there. All right, at a peak, right? So prep, you can see, so a change in transaction count, CK bytes are being moved around. I think that's makes the most sense of what's going on. So the last two questions, and then I'm wrapping this up because this is so long. Let me take a sip of my drink here. The last two questions I want to talk about last two topics. If this is coming from a miner consolidating, selling, taking profits, right? Why is it that price has followed in a bullish manner afterwards? And I looked a little bit more closely, and then the last one's going to be transaction count and price action. And I noticed something kind of interesting. Here we go, July 8th. Where am I? July 8th. Right there. Some consolidation probably happens, right? We're at 0.005529. Jump up. We get about to the 0061, and then we take a decent dip for several days, possibly some profit taking. And now the miner's got his profits, right? And so he's just gonna mine and gonna rack up more sells and not sell, and what do you know? We don't have any more downward pressure, and we get a boost. Could that be it? I think that there's a halfway decent chance. It makes complete sense that Binance listing, right? That information's kept super private. I'm sure whoever this miner is, even if they're a part of the foundation or not, I have no idea who they are. I mean, it could be one of the big partners. It could be Polychain. It could be, China Merchants Bank. I have no idea who it is, but whoever it is, they didn't know when Binance was going to list. So on that day, a lot of movement happened, right? Because they wanted to take some profits, and that's probably a big reason as to why we got that shoot up price, and then within 24 hours we were below the CKB price right before the listing. August 6th. I told you we had a lot to talk about. August 6th. This one looks like it was done early, right? Price was starting to move up. We had hit the bottom. Miner saw that. Consolidated some earnings, got ready. Boom, made some sales. Boom, sold. Boom, sold. Boom, sold. Right? But we still got a good price action, and they're selling in such a kind manner. I would say they're not just letting the price go up. They're not letting our emotions get too bullish. They're keeping us down to earth, which is a good thing. Our time will come, and when it does, it'll be good. But for now, this is good. CK bytes getting distributed. Last thing, oh my gosh, where am I at? Transaction count. Something I just found interesting. All right, like I said, I'm not going to get into the intraday like swing trading thing. Wouldn't even make sense for me to do that because I don't trade CKB. I just buy it and I hold it and I just sit on it for as long as I possibly can. I drew my own support lines to try to draw patterns out of this, and funny enough, I just realized that just taking the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25K lines and just using those actually kind of opened up some thoughts. So it's interesting. Your transaction count here stays fairly consistent between 5 to 10K, right? Until we get to right about here, April 14th. We take this jump up, and we were testing above 10K. But it's inconsistent, right? So then we start to drop back down, and then we go back up, and we can't make up our mind on this 10K line. I tweeted out a few days ago that this would sound weird because it is weird. Basically, that transaction count and price action have a touchy relationship, and price action is looking for consistency and follow through on transaction count. This to me is consistency between 5 and 10K. That's consistency, and that's from the beginning of the year all the way to about right around here, mid-April. Well, January, beginning of the year to mid-April, right about there, and then that's when everything with the bull. And this I'm pretty sure this was about the peak of Bitcoin. Was right about here, mid-April, if I remember right. Gosh, keep going. I'm gonna get rid of that one because I'm done with it. And then we jump up, and this could be fine, but it's almost as if transaction count couldn't make up its mind as far as holding above 10K, right? So it's looking for consistency, follow through. This shot up, but it wasn't consistent and it didn't follow through. And for this whole stretch of time, just inconsistency. But right here, starting mid-July, right, boom, we hit the bottom. Big jump in transaction count, and then we hold consistently above, in between above 15K and below 20. Now, right about here, right, September 6th, this is when we started to reverse and we took a little bit of a correction down. You can't make this stuff up. Right about here, right, a little before, we make this attempt to maybe sit ourselves up above 20, above 25, but we didn't follow through. We came right back down, and for whatever reason, just this inconsistency, price action just doesn't seem to like it. I know some of this stuff might sound crazy, and the network's evolving, right? It's maturing as time goes on. This is all going to change, so we keep up with it as much as we can, and we try to see those changes as they arise. But what I'm seeing right here is transaction count going to try to be a hero again and attempt past 20 and not follow through and come back down, and will price action follow in a bearish fashion? Well, I shouldn't say that, because CKB never goes down; it only goes on sale. But will it? That's what we're going to look for, right? If this shoots up and it sticks above 20, sticks above 25, right? We set a new bottom. Is it going to be a bullish pattern like we saw here around July 21st? But it's interesting, right? So consistency and follow through. They've got a touchy relationship, and I love. It sounds goofy, but I love talking about it like that. This is how I'm gonna end it right here, right? I'm no six fig. That guy is incredible, and we are super lucky to have him on our side on the Nervos Nation community. But I feel like this is being able to have metrics like this changes the game completely versus just being able to assess price action of a security that is controlled by the SEC, because I'm using air quotes right now, investor protection. Maybe that's a little unfair. There are people out there that try to take advantage of you, right? But I'll leave that one aside for right now. This is like the beating heart of this network, and all of these are different organs, right? They all play a different role, and we gotta learn, right? Any good parent knows, what their kid's allergic to, how their kid responds to certain thing, right? So look at ourselves as the parents of this network, and we just gotta learn how to help it grow and learn about it. So, all right, I can't even imagine how long this is. You guys have been great. Hope that this is educational. Hope it gives you something to think about. Take it for just what it is, which is me analyzing data. This is just what I like to do. Don't make any financial decisions off of it. We're all learning together as we go. And I really appreciate you guys. The support's been fantastic. This community is bar none the best one out there, and it's only getting better and growing, so I'm fired up. Take it easy, guys. J Mitch out. I'm celebrating my wife's birthday this weekend. We're taking several days off, so you're probably not going to hear much from me for a little bit. So be well, and we'll talk soon. Later.